Our next presentation, delivering enterprise AI responsibly and at scale. It is my pleasure to introduce George Murphy, Chief Growth Officer at Kore.ai. Kore.ai offers a generative AI application platform to help companies accelerate the use of generative AI and produce business value from AI. So, George, please come and join me on stage.
Very nice. Nandika, thank you so much. Daryl, Carrie, everybody from CCP. Great mission, great people, great purpose. So thanks for everything you do. I'm here for 20 minutes. You've been doing much more than that for many, many years. So thank you. So what I wanted to start with is a bit of an education on the transformation of tech over time. And I'm going to talk to some of the points that Amit mentioned from TCS, who's a very important strategic partner of ours. And also Rohit touched on, I couldn't have actually paid Rohit to set us up any better for conversational AI. That's what we do as our core capability. So thank you, Rohit. It was a perfect setup for EXL. So let's start through the journey here. So I'm responsible for the growth strategy of Kore. Been at Kore 3.5 years. Unfortunately, Raj just landed from Abu Dhabi for 2 weeks negotiating a deal, and he could not make it today. He sends his regrets and his regards, and thank you for the invitation. But I'll walk you through the company and the story. So the title here is important. Enterprise AI. We have 450 customers, enterprise customers, that we've deployed our technology. This isn't an idea. This is the reality of what we're seeing over 10 years of history in the company. We deploy AI responsibly and at scale in the largest brands that I'll talk you through. So here's a bit of the trend that we've been seeing in the market over many years. So obviously the 90s and the 2000s, you saw the cloud 1.0. I spent 10 years of my career at Salesforce.com from 2006 to 16. The cloud enterprise software was on-prem, then it moved to the cloud, then it moved mobile, and now you're seeing large language models proliferate in the market. OpenAI came on the scenes. A dear friend and client of ours introduced me to OpenAI in March of 2 years ago. And we started working with them, and we realized that they have tremendous technology for understanding conversations, understanding voice, understanding digital, breaking it down and digesting and answering questions. But they don't have a platform to deliver at an enterprise scale. So we partnered with OpenAI, and they've been a tremendous partner of ours. GPUs, many of you know, NVIDIA, the leader in GPUs, developing GPUs, that has become the standard in AI. So if you've followed the growth of NVIDIA, you've done very well for yourself if you put any money in the last 5-10 years. And then obviously edge computing coming on. So this is a bit about the transformation of contact center outsourcing and some of the things that Rohit touched on. Look at the pricing and the changes in pricing that you're seeing in cost to serve a customer when you call into a contact center, for example. Okay? So look at this from 90s to 2000s. In-house operations, you saw a big shift in outsourcing. So it was $1.20 a minute to serve a customer calling into a contact center. Outsourcing, 25 cents. Everybody outsourced, right? Now you saw the workforce being optimized, went down 10%. But then you see a huge shift since 2020, 2021, for conversational voice and digital automation. Look at this. 6 cents to 12 cents is what a customer using enterprise AI pays for serving a customer nowadays, leveraging our capabilities. Here's a bit about the company. So we're in a very large target addressable market, $66 billion TAM. The market's growing at 20% per year. The last 3 years, we've grown at 130% average. We're well over 100 million in revenue, annual recurring revenue. And when I joined the company 3.5 years ago, we were at 15 million in AR. So the company is just growing substantially. We've delivered $1 billion in cost realization for our customers. We're a recognized leader from Gartner and from Forrester. We are number one, and I'll share the report here momentarily. We're number one in the first ever Magic Quadrant report for enterprise conversational AI in 2022, and then we moved up into the right in 2023. Forrester rated us number one in 2024. So 3 years in a row, we're rated number one in what we do. We have 450 customers. I have a wonderful friend and colleague and customer that's going to join us here at the end of this conversation, Anthony West from Gainwell. And we've delivered value for Citibank, for example. We're taking 250 million calls at Citibank, 50 million digital chats, providing automation benefits for them. It's the largest implementation of conversational AI on the planet. Nobody's doing it at that scale. Morgan Stanley's a large customer. We provide an enterprise virtual assistant for 18,000 wealth managers. Think about this. I spent 8 years of my career at Morgan Stanley in wealth management. I know how challenging this is. So I used to have to wake up in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, be in the office by 7, and listen to the morning call. Barton Biggs, Byron Wien, Mary Meeker, if you remember the queen of the internet, Chuck Phillips, ran enterprise software. You'd have to listen to all of the conversation, take copious notes, then wait for that research report to hit the equity research gallery, find it, download it, and then don't mistype your client's email addresses. Make sure you put them in the BCC and not the 2 so you don't share all your client email addresses to all the other clients, and send a research report out. That was like 2 hours. What a wealth manager does today is they come in and they speak. Give me all the strong buy recommended stocks that came out in this morning's morning call. Give me the highest price to sales ratio in the enterprise software space. NVIDIA pops up. Take that enterprise research, take that NVIDIA research report, go to Salesforce CRM, grab all my aggressive growth customers, and send out an email that says, I thought you might be interested. Crafts it all before you. Automation, that's minutes from hours. And that's the transformation we're seeing in our customers. This is a couple of customers that we're seeing. Raj Kaniru is a 30-year executive, 30-year entrepreneur. He's built 5 companies. This is his 5th company. He's taken 2 public. He's sold 2. Very successful entrepreneur leading the organization. TCS, Amit was here. I know there's some friends from TCS. They're a tremendous partner of ours, and we work very closely with them as we do Capgemini, NTT, Cognizant, and others. So here's just the full stack of all of our customers. I mentioned 450 customers. We have broad success, broad industry expertise. Happy to talk to anyone that's interested about use cases that we're seeing across industries. These are the reports. So up and to the right, you see here is the latest Magic Quadrant report from Gartner. A little bit crowded. A little bit crowded. That was before Gen AI. Very crowded. Now, when Forrester did the report, they were saying who actually is harnessing the power of generative AI. And that's why we broke out from the pack. And that's what we're seeing today, is leveraging Gen AI on our platform. So now it's time to start realizing the value. So I just want to give you a couple statistics from one from MIT, one from McKinsey. So the opportunities is to make individuals more productive. Look at all these use cases. We're working with customers on all these use cases, whether it be automation in a customer setting, automating a password reset, transferring funds, disputing a charge, or surfacing a research report and getting it out to your customers inside an organization. Surfacing any document, quite frankly, and getting it outside your organization. The use cases are endless, but we're trying to provide innovation for customers and giving a more valuable organization, more profitability. So here's what McKinsey's seeing. Look at this statistic from McKinsey. Generative AI could add equivalent of 2.6 trillion to 4.4 trillion annually in value. That's overall value. I mean, these are big. McKinsey does the big studies. Half of the work activities could be automated between 2030 and 2060. Listen, I understand there's going to be certain individuals that don't spend the time to leverage and knowledge and get skilled up that are going to be left behind. But this is technology helps your employees be more productive. It helps your organizations be more profitable. It helps you get to the next level. Helps your employees be more happy. Think about an employee in a contact center in an airline taking calls. They're beat up. Where's my baggage? Book my flight. Do you want that for your employees? Or do you want automation and put that person on a more valuable task? Think about it. So the question is where and how, and responsibly. Where do we deploy enterprise AI, and how do we responsibly deploy it? So what I want to talk about is the platform and what we're doing for our customers, and then I'll invite my friend Anthony West up here. We provide a platform with 3 sets of capabilities for any use case you can think of under the sun. AI for service is exactly what Rohit couldn't have said it better. Conversational AI. And he said agent assistance as well. If you listen closely to what he said during the Q&A, it was perfect. It's what we do. So customer experience. So at omni-channel, voice or digital, we support 35+ channels, social channels, digital channels, voice channels. Call comes in, we try to automate it. If we can't automate it, second, it goes to an agent. And the agent is coached. The large language model listens, understands sentiment, red, yellow, green. They're starting to swear. It's not going so well for you. You might want to say this, right? So we listen to the entire conversation. We coach the agents. We make their jobs better. We make them have a better experience for the customer. So not only is it cost out, less calls going to the desk, the contact center, it is a better, enriching experience for the agent, and it's also a higher net promoter score for the customer. So you get the trifecta from leveraging this AI. Second, the use case I talked about. This is blowing up. Amit talked about it, Rohit talked about it, everybody's talking about it that's in the market. It's how do we make employees more productive? Put an avatar with an enterprise virtual assistant on every desktop. Say anything. Benefits are coming. What are my benefits from last year? How do I want to change it? I want to pull up my last week's pay stub. How much did I pay in taxes? How many exemptions did I have? I want to reset my password. I want to log a ticket. I want to take a research report, send it to customers. Whatever it is, all that information is available in the enterprise. It's not surfaced. We provide a platform, a system of engagement, as Amit said, to surface that information up and action it. Okay, that is AI for work. So we have an enterprise search capability, if you're technical, it's full advanced RAG, retrieval augmented generation of documents, retrieve, augment, generate, get you the right documents, send it to the customer, or surface it for the employee. Lastly, since it being introduced to OpenAI, we worked very closely with them. We realized they need a platform, an enterprise platform, for deploying AI at scale in an agnostic manner, not just for OpenAI models, but for Cohere models, for Gemini models, for Mistral models, for any model in the market. Okay? We have an agnostic platform for Gen AI. So a question comes in, we understand the question, we use the right model to get the answer, whether it be finding a PDF or they speak in Spanish. We have a model for Spanish. There's a model in the market for Spanish. If they have a question for unstructured documents, a question for IT service managers, a question that's specific for your ontology of your industry, there's a model for that, for retail banking, for retail overall, wealth management, et cetera. So we have an entire platform. So we understand the model, and then we do prompt engineering to determine what model is appropriate to use. And then you can create a flow. That research report example I gave you, think about the steps before that research report. I was meeting with another large bank last week, and they said, I love that research report example, but I'm in compliance. And I don't want that research report to get into the equity research gallery without following through the compliance steps. So now we can use this, what's called AI agents, a process flow, that the research report goes from the equity analyst to the compliance team. The compliance team reviews it, says, yes, it's ready. Then the business rules kick in. We look for companies maybe they're going to take public next week that they can't talk about. Or they're in a quiet period they can't talk about. There's business rules. So we use security to safely deploy that information to the right person at the right time to send it off. And then obviously safety, security, you don't want hallucination. And then we provide you an ability, the last ability that I want to mention, is we provide you the ability to analyze in getting the trifecta right. Which model is quickest? which model is the cheapest, and which model is the most accurate. That's AI. You got to get those three things right. Every question that comes in the platform, quickest, cheapest, right answer. We allow you the ability to analyze all the questions coming in and determine what models are appropriate so you use the right model for the right utterance. Okay? So for those of you that are technical, I'm going to, you want to go deep? Fine. I'm not going to do that today. So here, the key step before Anthony comes up is the key word for our platform, we're agnostic. We're cloud agnostic. We're model agnostic. We're application agnostic. We're data agnostic. We are a platform. You can use any enterprise software, any model. We can deploy it on-prem. Some of the banks want it on-prem. Citi on-prem. Morgan Stanley on-prem. Cigna on-prem. eBay in the cloud. So it depends. We deploy any way you want. So that's core. And now for my favorite part of these discussions, I get to talk to a friend for 10 minutes about what we're doing at Gainwell together. Anthony, thank you for coming, sir.
Sure, no worries.
Sit down, please.
Yeah.
So why don't you, should I put our business value slide up first?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
All right, this is what we're doing together. So tell me about Gainwell, okay?
Yes, sure.
Company size, scale, who you are.
So Gainwell Technologies, sort of something you wouldn't hear of as a company, it's a company out there with a brand so much because it's behind the scenes, supporting state governments in handling all their Medicaid and public health systems. We offer technologies that support those transactions from everything from providers, aka doctors, and/or members, beneficiaries of Medicaid offerings. Not only things from contact center, but the MMIS systems of where all the data is held by each of these state constituents, customers. All that technology stack from front to back, from contact center all the way back, we provide for that industry. To give you some size, our revenues are around, north of $2 billion, just to give you...
$2 billion, B, yeah?
B, yeah, $2 billion. But transaction processing is $250 billion. I mean, wow. The amount of transactions that we process. Call volumes and interactions that we have that go through our contact center can go beyond 15 million at some point in a year. Just to give you some perspective, a lot of our traffic has been voice, and we'll get into this, but I like a challenge, and we started with voice.
You do.
We started with voice, not a chatbot, but let's go for voice straight up. Well, that was a lesson. We'll get there. So that's where a little bit of color.
No, that's great. Thank you for choosing to work with us, and happy belated anniversary. So September 30th, 22 is when we started together.
That's right.
So It's been 2 years, and
yes.
Can you walk me through that selection process 2+ years ago? What did you evaluate? Why did you choose Kore? And maybe we can start to speak to a little bit of what value you're seeing.
Right.
You can see it here too.
Right. Yes. Look, I would have to say that it's amazing how quickly this technology is changing. Yeah. And I'll jump straight to saying that I'm glad that I did choose Kore at the time, because these vendors 2 years ago were not even necessarily talking about AI. They were talking about it in the context of speech recognition and then being able to present a voice back. So they call that their AI. But there was no sort of neural engine in the middle that really was doing true understanding and processing at a level that I felt comfortable. I could see it evolving, that companies able to grow it as the AI technology changes. Who of the vendors I looked at, or the partners I looked at, had a strategy that would allow them plug and play as things evolved in AI. And that's really important to us right now, as everyone can imagine. Every day I think I hear or I'll see on Instagram another AI tool that is now trumping OpenAI. Hard to believe, but there's all these new models coming out. How do we ensure that we can always have the best in use?
So let's talk about what we're doing here.
Yep.
So you have 9 states live. You said you have 15 million calls, 5 million calls from those 9 states.
That's right.
You get, 19 or 21 states or so?
20 million, yep.
We're going after.
That's the target, yep.
We started at 30% containment, meaning the voice call comes in, And that was what was being contained in the previous technology.
Yes.
And now it's 51, 21% incremental. And that is $5 million in annual value for 9 states.
That's right.
And we have what? We have 5 more to go?
And yeah, so we haven't even really scratched the surface. I mean, if we think about it, the version that we're actually using now of your platform, we are very eager to move to the next stage of our strategy, which is true generative AI, integrating and use of generative AI to take the customer experience for the doctors and the beneficiaries to the next level. Our intent is to sway that audience, and this is think about the audience. It's beneficiaries and members in Medicaid struggling with their own financials, and you've got providers who are looking to be extremely efficient in engaging with anything Gainwell. So they have a very low tolerance. They can get very frustrated with any kind of conversational AI. They want answers immediately. So that has, as you can see from the containment rates, we're doing well, but I think we haven't even scratched the surface. When we start introducing the next parts of Kore's offerings.
Like agent, AI agent. So we have something in, obviously, part of AI's AI for service is agent assistance, right? And you're not using agent assistance today. So talk about kind of the struggles that you're having and how that might actually take a next step with you.
So we've just recently made a decision at Gainwell that we are. Oh, I'll just back up a second and explain. If you remember, state one is always the hardest because in state government contracts, it's really important to it takes time to warm them to new ideas, new technologies, and the concept of moving from a DTMF dial 1 for this, a menu-driven system, to now just say what you want. That was a major shift, and we were very fortunate to have a partner of a state. I don't necessarily need to tell everyone what the state is, but that's what it took, is the first state to leap of faith, jump into this as well. They were eager to use new technology and demonstrate that to the federal government that they're moving, so that there was an invested interest to do something here. It became a domino effect. Yep. And the first 9 states have given us enough of awareness of the kinds of calls that come in that we've been able to automate with self-service. But it's also highlighted what areas that we can take further, which we know what the technology can do, but we have seen enough success that it is now fundamentally mandatory that all our contact centers, we put this in. Yeah, it used to be we gave the states the option. We're not giving the states the option anymore. When we're bidding on any RFPs for the states, this is when we insist on it, and we can show them the return on investment. So it's.
So where are we going from here? So you're using I laid out 3: AI for work, AI for service, AI for process. Those are the 3 kind of capabilities that we have. You're obviously using this for AI for service or automation up front. Yeah. So agent assistance is obviously something that you're looking at. And then how are you looking at Gen AI for work for your employees, and what are you looking at to grow with us? We are
extremely excited about the idea of putting it at the worker's fingertips, access to information that once may have taken you half an hour to search that SharePoint to find. And putting that behind our bot. So we're very excited about using the generative AI to have a better context or understanding of not only what's being asked of, but our model. The model has actually garnered everything that's permitted in our ecosystem, corpus ecosystem. We haven't got that today. Everything's been a little bit purposely designed, and that was very important. When you're working in state government contracts, you need to demonstrate in audit, very explicit, if this, then that, these are the outcomes. We're moving into a phase now that we've warmed the state governments to, okay, so long as they understand how we implement it and the strictness of audit and have systems audit, because it's impossible to have a human audit every call and how well that went. We still have constrained grammar, as they call it, where we don't let people ask about who's the president of the United States, those kinds of things, but we certainly we certainly make sure that we've got a little bit of leeway to allow, we want to add, I should say, to go a little outside what would be normal for a provider. If they have entitlements and authorization, they can ask questions about best practices or materials that we've put into our knowledge management system. We want to surface that not only for workers, but also...
So as we talk about AI for Work, the Morgan Stanley use case, surfacing up those documents and answering those questions directly.
Absolutely. We're excited for that. I mean, in the past, it has been one of our biggest pain points. It's just finding intel. Now, can you do it?
Safe and secure, right? So you mentioned you're serving the government, so, and your agents are onshore, right, in the U.S.
Correct.
Expensive agents,
Correct.
more automation, higher benefit, right?
Correct.
So this is an important technology for your business.
Absolutely. So we're very excited about Agent Assist. We're looking forward to that, putting it in front of our agents, giving real... I like how you present it. I just see this... Gabby at Gainwell is the name of our...
Gabby at Gainwell.
Is our brand. Gabby at Gainwell will be part of the conversation all the way through, may not speak once handed over to the live agent, but because Gabby's there, is also surfacing an Agent Assist, the necessary, helping assist the live agent with information they need.
And helping with the summary, so listening to the entire conversation, and at the end summarizing that conversation, and so you have a record of everything that was discussed safely, securely on the platform.
Yep.
So we got a few seconds left. Any advice? You've been through this journey 2 years. You've had a storied career in technology.
Right.
Any advice you can give to anybody looking at generative AI and thinking about enterprise AI projects?
I think it's very important to find, this isn't something that, unless you're willing to throw a lot of money at something and see that disappear, this world is changing so fast that it's important to find partners that have an orchestration engine that allows you to swap and change things out as things evolve. And there are some, in this space that we at the Kore are in, some have a very regimented, you're going to use our models, this is how, and we'll support those models, and that's it. But finding something like with Kore, we're excited that we can continue to swap out and also bring our own models to the orchestration and utilize that in any process we run through.
And as I shared earlier in wrapping up, so first of all, thank you all for the time. And Amit's here from TCS, very important strategic partner of ours. We don't do any of the technology implementations ourselves. We partner with the TCSs of the world, and it's been a tremendous partnership. So Amit, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing the story. And CECP, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.